Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to make 5 predictions about the stock market in general and also my own stocks in 2026. Before talking about my predictions for 2026, let's talk about my previous predictions. I made a couple of predictions about the stocks before and they mainly turned out to be correct. I predicted that 4 Canadian stocks will cut their dividends and their stock price is overvalued by more than 50%. Those stocks were Algonquin Power, TransAlta Renewables, True North Commercial REIT, and Northwest Healthcare REIT. And all of these companies actually slashed their dividend, and their share price went down by more than 50%. TransAlta Renewables was the only one that was acquired by its parent company TransAlta before going down 50%. I also released a stock market prediction for the year 2024 in December 2023, in which I made 5 predictions about the stock market in the year 2024. Let me quickly recap those predictions and see which of them turns out to be correct and which of them turns out to be wrong. Okay, one of my predictions for 2024 was that Aritzia stock One of my predictions for 2024 was that the Aritzia stock share price will rebound to $40 in 2024. Aritzia was trading for only $27 at the time, and it was more than 60% down from its all-time high share price. Well, this was totally correct. Aritzia not only rebounded to $40 range in 2024, but also it made a new all-time high share price in 2024 and again in 2025. The stock is actually trading for over $110 at the moment, so this was a great buy at the time of recording that video. The second prediction I had for 2024 was that Brookfield Corporation will reach $100 billion market cap in Canadian dollar. At the time of recording that video, Brookfield Corporation market cap was $82 billion. And well, this one also was correct, as Brookfield Corporation was able to not only reach $100 billion market cap in 2024, but also it continued to go higher and higher, and right now it has a market cap of 145 billion Canadian dollar. So this was also a great buy at the time of recording that video. The third prediction I had for 2024 was that Magnificent 7 stocks will not outperform in 2024. Okay, Magnificent 7 stocks with their leader NVIDIA performed extremely well in 2024, and they actually outperformed the general indices by a large margin. I was wrong on this, and to be honest, it was difficult to forecast such excitement in the markets for AI and such explosive revenue growth of NVIDIA, which led to outperformance of Magnificent 7 stocks. The fourth prediction I had for 2024 was that my TFSA stocks will outperform my RRSP stocks. I had Aritzia, Brookfield Corporation, EQ Bank, TD, Keelam REIT, and Granite REIT, with most of my money invested in Aritzia, Brookfield, and EQ Bank in my TFSA. And in my RRSP, I had Amazon, Google, Monster Beverage, and MasterCard. Aritzia returned almost 110% in 2024. Brookfield Corporation returned almost 60% in 2024. EQ Bank returned 20%, and compare that to Google, which returned almost 35% in 2024. Amazon, which returned 40%, Monster returned minus 15%, and MasterCard returned almost 20%. So if you compare the TFSA stocks with RSP stocks, I believe this one was a correct prediction. Both of these portfolios performed really well, but the TFSA stocks performed much better. The last prediction I had for 2024 was that Granite REIT and Keelam REIT will have a great year. Granite REIT in 2024 had a basically flat year. Of course, they paid a significant monthly distribution, but even considering that dividend, their return were around 5% in 2024. Keelam REIT was up over 20% at the point in September 2024, and it was paying a monthly distribution of around 3.5%, so it had a much better year. But the stock started to fall again towards the end of 2024 and into 2025. This prediction was not entirely wrong, as the total return of both stocks in most of 2024 was around 30%, considering the dividends. So basically 4 out of 5 predictions I had was correct for 2024. Of course, I was lucky with these predictions. I don't have magical powers, I don't know the future, and therefore all of my 2026 predictions can be wrong. So make sure to do your own research before making any investment decision, and please do not rely on anybody's predictions for your investment decisions. With all that in mind, let's start with my first prediction for 2026. My first prediction is that Constellation Software family will have a major rebound in 2026. Constellation Software business model involves acquiring, managing, and building vertical market software companies, which are companies that create specialized mission-critical software for niche industries like library management, marine operations, healthcare systems, and transportation services. Constellation Software and its two spin-off companies, Topicus and Lumine, all had a really bad year in 2025. Constellation Software stock is down over 35% from their recent all-time highs, while Topicus and Lumine are also down even more than Constellation. These stocks are down due to the fears that AI may cut into their software businesses and destroy their margins. I discussed this before on my channel, that AI may affect horizontal software businesses, but it's highly unlikely that it can meaningfully impact vertical market software businesses, which are operating in niche markets, and there is little to no incentive for businesses to switch their software providers in these niche markets. I believe the company's proven cash-generating business model will overcome recent negative market sentiment, and all three Constellation Software companies will have an epic rebound in 2026. By the way, this is the new feature of Yara IQ Stock Analyzer, where you can compare the stock price of a stock in 2 different points in time in real time. And I'm adding new features to Yara IQ every single month. We will have a major update coming up before 2026, which will add a couple more features to Stock Analyzer and Portfolio Manager. If you want to have access to all these tools, including Portfolio Manager, Stock Analyzer, Discounted Cash Flow Calculator, Legendary Investor Tracker, and my private Discord group, as well as my brand new Patreon portfolio and exclusive content, you can now join my Patreon, and for only $10 or 14 Canadian dollar, you can have access to all of these tools and resources. I'm sure you will love it, so try it out today, and if you don't like it, you can cancel it anytime you want. No question asked. Okay, let's continue the predictions. My second prediction for 2026 is that AI data center stocks will experience a significant crash during the year. AI data center builder stocks like NBIS or Iron are up over 200% this year, and their valuation is expanding rapidly, while the actual profitability of these businesses is not growing as fast as their valuations. And a lot of profits that baked into the valuation of these stocks is actually future earnings and cash flows, not today's earnings and cash flows. Companies like NBIS and Iron are growing revenue unusually rapid quarter over quarter, but they are unprofitable. Their valuation multiples, such as price to sales, are extremely high. Basically, market is betting on continuous huge demand from hyperscalers and companies like NVIDIA and OpenAI in building new data centers, and they are rewarding these data center builders for a potential future cash flow. I don't think this trend is sustainable, especially because lack of power infrastructure to power all of these AI data centers in near future, and if demand weakens even slightly, these stocks can easily see 50% drop in their share price, as their valuation is extremely optimistic at the moment. So my thesis is that these stocks are super risky, and I predict there will be a crash in these stocks in 2026. My third prediction is that Novo Nordisk will be at $70 share price by the end of 2026. Novo Nordisk is another stock that its share price was obliterated in 2025, and it is down over 60% from its recent all-time high share price. The GLP-1 market for obesity and diabetes is projected to reach $150 billion by 2034. Even with competition, Novo Nordisk is expected to capture a huge share of this market. The market is vastly underpenetrated, meaning the patient base will continue to explode. Right now, the market priced in complete failure of Novo Nordisk against Eli Lilly as its competitor in GLP-1 market. The expected launch of oral version of Wegovy in 2026 is a critical catalyst for the stock in the new year. An oral pill is preferred by many patients and is generally cheaper to produce, which could significantly broaden market access, boost volumes, and help offset some of the price cuts that the company had to do recently. As Novo Nordisk will have the first mover advantage compared to Eli Lilly, I expect this catalyst alone can help the stock to recover and go back to $70 range. Of course, it may not happen. This prediction might be wrong, but this is what I think will happen in 2026. The fourth prediction I have is that quantum computing stock's price will be obliterated in 2026. I recently looked at quantum computing stocks on my channel, and their stock price growth and their valuation is absolutely not sustainable. We have stocks that are trading at close to 1,000 times of their sales, which doesn't make any sense. These are probably the most expensive stocks in the market without any real profitability. They are burning cash at a fast rate, and investors only hope that someday maybe quantum computing can become a big thing. I would argue even if quantum computing is the next big thing, a company like Google is in a better position to profit from this technology than these small cap and micro cap stocks. For those reasons, I predict these stocks will have major issues in 2026 with their valuations. My last prediction is that my TFSA stocks can outperform my RRSP stocks again in 2026. So I predict that my Canadian stocks that I own in my TFSA, Constellation Software, Brookfield Corporation, EQ Bank, and Intact Financial will outperform my RRSP stocks in 2026, which are Google, Ferrari, Novo Nordisk, Louis Vuitton, and Copart. I believe both group of stocks will do well, but I think overall my Canadian stocks will be able to outperform my US stocks in 2026. We will see how many of these predictions were right at the end of the next year. But for now, there you are guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you liked the video, consider subscribing to the channel to see similar videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Farewell.